Oh, well, hello there, friends. Welcome to the pilot episode of Smooth Talkin' with Seth. I'm your host, Seth McBilliam, and today we'll be opening up the floor to questions that you, the viewers, have sent into the studio for me to answer. So, let's turn up the tunes, pour a hefty glass of Poop Water Vineyards wine, and get down to some smooth talking. Our first question comes from Keith is Cool, and they ask, how do you pronounce your channel name? Well, I'm sure glad that somebody asked me this. I've been making DayZ content for around 2 years now, and people have called me everything under the sun. I've gotten Bwad, I've gotten B-Wad, but really, for all the viewers out there at home, my channel name is B-Wad, like a wad of cash, baby. Next up, Zenarchus asks, what is your opinion on bandits versus heroes in DayZ? I think both are necessary in the world of DayZ. Having the hero and a villain is such a classic storytelling trope in film, TV, and yes, even video games. Even though there's no linear or direct story in DayZ, there's opportunity to create your own story, and I think the hero and the bandit ideas, whether one or the other you identify as something in between, they're very important to the construct of player interaction in this game. Now we have a question from I Let You Win, and they ask, have you ever played DayZ console? And how long have you been making DayZ content? DayZ console, yes. If you go back to my earliest of videos, you can see that I was on PlayStation 4 DayZ. And about a year and a half ago, I made the switch over to PC. However, I enjoyed my days on DayZ console and had tons of fun, but nothing compares to the PC DayZ experience. As far as my content, I've been making content for just under 2 years now. I saved up for years to buy a PC, and eventually, about a decade later, here I am, making videos and finally having a little taste of success on YouTube. Oh, here's a good one, folks. My friend Ryan James Baldock asks, how long is the editing process? What was the moment you knew DayZ was special? And what's been your favorite kill so far? Ooh, 3 great questions. Let's answer them in order, shall we? The editing process really varies based on the type of video I'm making. For a story or interaction-based kind of adventure video, if I have around 6 hours of recorded footage, it's going to take me about an hour or 2 to make a rough cut, so I delete the boring bits and keep the essential parts to the story. And then another 1 to 2 hours to refine those rough cuts, and then another hour or so to add music and sound effects and make the video feel whole. For that kind of video, maybe 4 hours or so. Nothing too heavy. But then on the other hand, guide videos are a little more work. For something that is more of a tutorial, I have to spend time writing out the script, coming up with ideas, then the visual and cinematics, and then going out and recording all of that, which usually takes a good 2 to 3 hours, sometimes more, on its own. Then, I have to go in and put it all together in a timeline and make refining cuts to all my shots, voiceovers, and then on top of that add music and if I want sound effects. All in all, guides probably take at least a good 5 to 6 hours minimum. A moment in which I knew that DayZ was special. I think it has to date back to one of the very first times I played the game on the Arma 2 mod. I was playing with my brother and we were up near Zelenogorsk, looting around for some food when we heard a big old truck drive past, and somehow we were able to ambush it and get into a fight with the driver. We ended up winning the fight, and we drove off with a truckload of weapons, ammos, and supplies. That was really the first time I can remember getting a kill in DayZ, and that feeling of adrenaline, suspense, and joy was what made me truly fall in love with what the game could offer. That roller coaster of emotions when the truck driver got out of the car and we didn't know what was going to happen next. It's a moment like that where I realized the game is really special. Although that was a great moment, it wasn't my favorite kill. My favorite really has to be when Essaker first came out. I ran into a town as pretty much a fresh spawn, and there was a geared guide there and several other fresh spawns. Eventually, the geared guy was taken out by zombies or another fresh spawn, I'm not too sure. But all in all, chaos broke out, and there was dead bodies and zombies and loot all over the place. I somehow managed to pick up an SKS, hide away behind a fence with flashing red blood. Once I was patched up, I decided that rather than run away with this one gun with a little bit of ammo, I would stay and fight and see if I could make the most out of this opportunity. I did, and I had lots of one-tap kills with that SKS while passing out in between because of my blood loss. It was such an epic moment and one that I won't ever forget. And I actually think I made a video out of it, so if I can find it, I'll link it for the viewers. If you look at the top of the screen, it might be there right about maybe now? Alright. Last up, we have a question from Vaughn. What are the endgame goals of DayZ? This is a good question, and one that I think a lot of new players and new survivors to the world of Trunaris probably are wondering. To me, DayZ is all about what you want to get out of it. The endgame is based on your style and what you would like to experience. For me, endgame is simply the death of my character. Other than the challenges I set out for, I take every life as its own adventure and its own story. I seek out something unique with every life and every experience. I'm not in it for the loot or for building a base or stashing my loot for the next life, no. I'm about living in the moment until my character dies. To someone else, endgame might be considered building a juicy base or raiding a juicy base, or having a decked out military sim character, and you get the point. In the end, DayZ is all about the unique adventures and experience. So, there is no true endgame. Alright folks, well, that's all the time we have today on Smooth Talkin' with Seth. If you'd like to not see the show canceled, please, I'm kind of begging you here, drop a like on the video and comment some more questions or maybe some guests you'd like to see on Smooth Talkin' with Seth. But that's it for now, and I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.